Thank you, Kiss Army YouTube, for joining us on the 1-year anniversary of the Kiss Army Things podcast. You're with Xander.
And Jeb.
1 year of the podcast. How about that?
1 year. I am pretty excited.
Episode 24.
Kind of surreal.
So we thank everybody for joining us on this another exciting episode of Kiss Army Things. We're glad you're here. We want to real quickly, before we get into anything and start talking about Kiss, we want to give a shout out to all of our viewers, the people that make this show possible. Obviously, without you guys, there'd be no reason to do this show.
Yeah.
Our viewers and listeners, so we thank you guys. But not just in general, we want to actually get to a list of some folks here. It's not everybody, but we want to just shout out some people here. So real quickly, Henry Chin, Paul Scott, Tony Monero, Steve Anderson, Angelo Scanzelli, Thomas Malone Jr., David D., Brant Meredith, Glenn Walker from Tales of a Kiss Geek, Pascal Claudio from the Kiss Army Nation podcast, Rick from the YouTube channel It's All For You Demon, Right Between the Eyes podcast, Johnny Grosinger, Darren Smith. This is just a small list of people who are supporters of the Kiss Army Things podcast, listeners, watchers. They comment. We thank you guys so much. We love the fact that you want to talk Kiss with us. And so we really just want to appreciate that. And then also want to give a huge shout out to Daphne. You can't see her. She's off screen, but she's there every episode making sure that everything runs smoothly, everything's being taped, framed correctly, the lighting. So we want to real quickly thank Daphne. You can see her in a couple previous episodes. She was even in the 1 Second Kiss Song Challenge video. So she's been a really big help for the podcast. Yeah. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we started this whole podcast because we started it in 2021, which is still kind of in the pandemic era. And so obviously 2020 was kind of a weird year because the tour shut down and expos stopped. There still aren't any Kiss expos as far as we know.
Yeah.
At least not Indiana, the Indianapolis Kiss Expo. But the Kiss Cruise, that didn't happen in 2020. So it was just a weird time for Kiss fans. We're used to being really social. We love to talk to each other. We love to share our stories, our memories, ideas, and opinions. And so we had wanted to do a podcast for a while, but just for various reasons couldn't make it happen. But the pandemic offered a little bit of time to kind of set aside for something like this. And so we wanted to, reach out and talk Kiss with all of you. We're so glad you wanted to reach out and talk Kiss with us.
Yeah.
I want to say right now, I enjoy reading your guys' comments. I love being able to chat with you and get your guys' thoughts and responses on the things that we talk about and all the things. So just again, in general, thank you guys so much for wanting to talk Kiss with us and joining us here on Kiss Army Things.
Absolutely. And comment down below if you've been watching since the first episode. I want to see how many people watched the first episode and stuck with us all the way until now. That would be really cool to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, now that we've done that, we will get into some Kiss talk. First of all, let's do the Kiss Spotlight.
Sure.
So, Jeb, what Kiss album you listen to the most? Or what Kiss album is something you want to spotlight this week?
Well, I'm stuck in the 80s, and I don't want to go on too long because we have a few different topics we want to talk on today. So, I'll just say, look it up.
Okay.
Which, if you watched I don't know if I've done that for a spotlight before.
I don't think so.
Okay, good, because I
don't think we have.
I do love that album, so it wouldn't surprise me. But obviously, if you watched our top 5 Kiss albums video, what was one of our first ones, Look It Up was in my top 5, and then later I think I said Carnival of Souls took its place, and now I'm sort of renegotiating that. Not that it really matters what's in my top 5, but I absolutely adore Look It Up. Fantastic follow-up to Creatures. I like it more than Creatures. It hits so much harder and faster, and I love Gene's vocals on it. Everything about that album just rocks. And I think if you haven't listened to Look It Up all the way through in a while, go back and listen to it, because it is just killer front to back. And A Million to One, a great, Paul Stanley, not quite a ballad, but still has that kind of feel to it. But
amazing song.
I love that album. And so 80s Kiss, Vinnie Vincent era Kiss.
Yeah.
Cannot go wrong.
Not only did you say that maybe Carnival had replaced Lick It Up in your top 5, but in the last episode with Ryan, where we did some hot takes, you said you might have to walk this back. So I'm kind of wanting to know whether you want to walk this back or what you think, because in the last episode, your hot take was that you said that Carnival of Souls was to you better than any album that Kiss did in the 80s.
I still hold to that.
You still hold to that?
Well, I mean, better by what metric?
Your metric, yes. As I say, it's your personal metric, but do you personally still think that Carnival of Souls is better than any 80s Kiss album?
It really depends on my mood, because right now I might say Look It Up, but it really, both of those albums, they scratch a different itch.
Right.
itch a different scratch. No, whatever.
Yeah, scratch a different itch. I think you got
but I
first
think
time.
for the most part, I tend to lean towards Carnival of Souls. But for some reason, since the weather is getting nicer, I really want to listen to Look It Up just because of how upbeat and fast it is, and it's just that's the kind of good driving music that I like to drive out in the summer too.
Absolutely.
So right now I'm feeling Look It Up, but generally I think Carnival still might be a little bit superior in my mind.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I kind of forgot I said that. So.
Well, for sure, I wanted to bring it up and make sure that you were still going to stand by that. I was curious.
And it could change. It always changes.
I would say, yeah. I mean, nobody, your mind always changes every day, or not every day, but it does change a lot, and that's okay. And mine does too, and everybody's always changes. But I think for me this week, I'm doing something a little different because usually we talk about an album, that we listen to. I actually am spotlighting just a show, a concert, a video, I guess you could call it. But anyway, so I'm spotlighting the concert that Kiss did in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2014 on the 4th anniversary tour, which sounds random, but the reason why is because that show was actually streamed on yahoo.com.
Okay, yeah.
And I may or may not have a video download of that show, and I was watching that and was kind of just like, wow. It sounds kind of funny because 2014 really wasn't that long ago.
No, it
about 8 years ago.
It sounds like a long
something like that. And so I think it's 8 years, but like you don't think about that being too long ago, but Kiss had about 8 more years energy back then. And so it's funny watching, the farther back you go in Kiss, obviously they're younger and younger, so they have more and more energy. But I was watching this, 2014 Kiss and was just like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Because, again, they're in their 70s now.
Sure.
So they're obviously not going to, be performing at a level when they were 60, just like when they were 60, they weren't performing at the level they were when they were 50 and so on and so forth. It's just life. But I was watching this concert in 2014 and I was like, what a great era that was. The monster costumes I thought were fantastic.
Yes.
The Spider stage show was definitely something to behold.
True.
What a cool era that was. 2014, they were getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Paul's book was coming out.
Which tour was that?
That was the 40th anniversary tour.
40th anniversary tour, okay.
Yeah, they were co-headlining with Def Leppard.
Yes, we saw them on that tour.
We saw them on that tour.
Absolutely.
It was the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that night, too.
That's correct.
They did the bucket. I forget about that.
Wow.
But anyway, so I guess I'm just spotlighting 2014 Kiss.
I thought that was Motley Crue, or did I get that?
That was 2012.
Right, and that wasn't. Wow, yeah, that was so long ago.
That was 2012. I know, it was crazy.
10 years
That
ago.
was 10 years ago, which is wild to think about because we're supposed to be the young guys. We're the young guys here, and even we're going, oof.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. So I guess I'm just spotlighting 2014 Kiss. I don't know. I think that it was a big year for them as far as being in the mainstream. We talk about Kiss not really having a lot of mainstream relevancy, or if I'm saying that right.
Well, the TV appearances, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the tour with Def Leppard is kind of all.
They were on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine
for the first time.
I don't know where it's at over there, but it's over there. So yeah, I mean that was just a big year for Kiss, and so I was watching this Yahoo stream of the Charlotte show and just going, this is awesome. This is Kiss. This is great.
They just recently did a similar stream type thing in. Was it Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires, yes. And I may or may not have gotten that before it got taken down off YouTube, too.
Huge show. I don't know if we had planned to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
That show looked absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they've been playing some really successful shows.
Wow. I mean, not just the attendance, but the show was just great.
And that's going to be definitely a topic on this show because this one is just going to be a very boom, boom, boom kind of recapping, keeping up with all the Kiss news and stuff. And that's definitely...
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Definitely one of them. The first thing I had was actually Ace's birthday because we didn't, on the last episode, we didn't mention Ace's birthday.
Sure.
Last episode with Ryan, we just kind of went right into it and we weren't worried about any news. It was all Kiss just in general. So we want to real quickly wish Ace a happy 71st birthday.
Yeah.
We're so glad that he's going to be at Creatures Fest with Peter and with Bruce and Vinny.
God, I keep forgetting about Vinny.
I'm pretty sure Vinny, Bruce, and Ace are all going to be performing at the same time. They've planned that for the something that's going to be crazy. That's like all the former Kiss members, is it not?
That's incredible. Well,
all the former living Kiss members of Kiss are going to be there. Not Gene. Peter, Ace, Bruce.
Oh, Peter is going to be there too.
Yeah. It's all living members of Kiss, former members.
That is incredible.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
That is that event is incredible, and I only wish they were doing more. Because it's only going to be in Tennessee that one day.
Right. Yeah.
It's a shame they couldn't pull something together for an indie expo. I know all those separate.
Yeah.
I know Keith and Steve are on the indie expo, and so we don't we don't know
Right.
how that would work. Connections and all
No,
that.
but I will say that it is awesome to see an event like that happening, because we were just talking about the expo
Yeah.
and how, or just Kiss events in general, and how with the pandemic they've all kind of slowed down, they've been canceled, whatever. So it's cool to see Creatures Fest happening, because hopefully it's the sign of more of those events
Yeah.
coming back. I'm sure it's going to be a huge turnout, because I know
should be.
we were thinking about
Travel
going,
down
but it
there,
wasn't
yeah.
going to work out with our schedules. So if you, a listener or viewer, are going to be at the Creatures Fest,
Yeah.
let us know how that goes. I don't care if you want to comment on this episode, the next episode. I don't care if you DM the Instagram, or you text or message me on Facebook, whatever it is.
We're going to want any updates.
Any updates are going to be great.
On that.
And I'm sure, it's going to be talked about on all kinds of other podcasts. And so it'll be really cool to catch up on that, because there's plenty of stuff. There's more than just, guys from Kiss is going to be there. It's going to be plenty of other bands.
That's true.
Are gonna be there,
Bunch of
plenty
old
of other-
classic, 80s,
Yeah.
80s bands and stuff like that. But I really hope it's successful. Only, if not, so that same type of event will happen closer to us. I'm wondering, assuming it has a good turnout and Peter, Bruce, and everyone's making good money, and I hope they are. Then
I hope so,
hopefully,
too.
hopefully they'll say, you know what, the fans still want to see us, and they know we do. Hopefully that won't be a one-time thing for especially Vinny, because I say what you want about Vinny Vincent. I would love to meet
Vinny and Peter.
Vinny Vincent.
I need to meet Vinny and Peter. Peter's the
because
one
those are
that,
the two that we have not met.
well, and Peter's the one that I really want to meet, just because Peter's had a huge impact on me as not only a Kiss and just a drummer.
Yes. yes.
Peter, Eric Carr, Eric Singer. Those are like my three, drummers. Those are my three guys.
Yeah.
And so I really want to meet Peter. I definitely want to meet Vinny.
Yeah.
But
We've met Ace a couple times.
Ace a couple times.
Met
Yep.
Bruce many times.
So again, happy birthday to Ace. Hopefully
Yeah.
it was a great birthday. And speaking of Ace, it's a good lead into the next topic. We've been hearing about Gene publicly inviting Ace
yeah.
to come on stage. Apparently, by the way it was worded, this is an invitation that's been already extended in private before.
Right.
And Gene is saying, hey, again, still open. Doors are open.
Yeah.
Come on stage with us. Fans would love it.
Yeah.
And so, let's talk about that. I mean, so you go see Kiss. All of a sudden, Ace comes out on stage. What's your reaction?
I don't know. I mean, it's so strange to think about because it's something that I've thought about a whole lot and I still don't know. I mean, I imagine I would react positively.
I would freak out.
Only because it's Ace Frehley. To me, any of the makeup and who else is on stage, if Tommy's going to be there, if someone's going to go back and then Ace will come out and then they'll play. If Ace showed up, even just to wave to the crowd, I would thoroughly enjoy that. Only because, that tells us they're on good terms. He is a part of the original band. Everyone loves Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
I don't think anything could go wrong there. It's just, it seems like there's too many, almost
Politics. Yeah.
who's going to wear what, all that. It just have him come out wearing his street clothes.
Absolutely.
Pay him a gob of money. Who cares?
Yeah.
Do it for the fans. And I don't know if, it seems like Ace was only concerned with the money.
Right.
I'm not even sure if Ace would be concerned about Tommy wearing the makeup. I'm not sure if he really cares, but it seems like the fans are more concerned about that
Yeah, I think
than Ace actually.
I think the
might
fans
be.
are going to have more to say than the actual band, because I mean,
Yeah.
if it were to go down, I think realistically it'd be something like
That's the only way it would make sense to me.
it would be, he comes out probably after the encore,
Yeah.
maybe, or no, I mean, it maybe comes out during Black Diamond and does the bow or something. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't care. I mean, if they put him in makeup, I think that would be a little weird. To put him in a costume, I just don't think
it
that would
seems
make
extra.
any sense.
That seems extra.
It's not necessary. And
Not necessary.
We've already got a spaceman. There's no need to just Ace is Ace.
Yeah.
Let him come out with a guitar and do his thing. And I
Do
think
rock and roll night or something with the band.
absolutely
It would be a moment.
or shout it out loud or something like that. Where they trade vocals on that one part, or
Yes.
So I mean, I can tell you how my reaction was when I heard Gene say it. I was just thinking, why now? Why is this just now getting sort of casually thrown out there? Mm-hmm. Towards the end of the tour, because I mean, sure they had spoken, to Ace privately, and Ace has publicly said, well, for the right price, we can make a negotiation. But it just seems like Gene just sort of randomly said in some interview, or extended a hand and said, you just come out and do it. I'm like, this is such a strange time to do that. It makes me wonder what I mean, if he was thinking at all, it's likely that he wasn't. But I was just thinking how strange that towards the end of the tour we're only hearing about this publicly. And
Yeah.
it's not like Ace has confirmed anything. It's not like anything's confirmed. I just thought it was incredibly strange that Gene would just sort of come out and do that. Just for everyone to react to. I mean, that's what he does.
Right.
But, I mean, come on. I don't see it happening, but I would love it.
Yeah, I don't know that it would happen on the main tour. It just seems like, if you and I pay money for a ticket to go see Kiss, and then somebody else pays the exact same money.
Yeah, the next night or whatever.
But the next night you get that real bit. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you're kind of thinking, well, is that really fair? But at the same time, you definitely don't want to make it into a thing where it's like you have Ace come out every single night and just pretend like, hey, it's the first time we're together, and like you play it up every night for everybody. It just seems kind of disingenuous. So
I don't think they would have to do that. I think if he, I don't know.
I think it's just as simple as him coming out and playing would be fantastic.
That would be the best to me.
And I know that, there is a lot of politics in it, but I want to just throw that away and say, even if Ace came out for one song or two songs, if he came out in makeup, out of makeup, if he had his crazy lit up Les Paul, or if he had a regular Les Paul, I mean,
You could do New York
it doesn't
Groove.
matter. If Ace comes out on stage with Kiss, you better believe it's going to be one of the greatest moments.
There would be a standing ovation. I mean, everyone's already standing, but you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well, it'd be a jaw dropping moment. I mean, how cool was it when Ace was on the Kiss Cruise? First of all,
So, oh my god,
that was
watching them all play an acoustic show with Bruce and Tommy. Didn't they do that? This was a couple.
Yeah, it was Bruce
few
and
years
Tommy
ago,
on the same stage, right next to
playing
each
rock
other,
and roll, and I'm like that.
right next to each other.
To me, was similar to how I felt watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, where I got sort of emotional just seeing them in the same room together.
Right.
Every once in a while I'll go back and watch that because I don't care about the Rock Hall of Fame, but just seeing all four original members stand next to each other on stage really does get me emotional.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like I would feel the same way if Ace just came out on stage with Kiss on this current tour. I mean, it would mean a lot to me, and I know it would mean a lot to so many other fans. It just seems like it's gotten too big for everyone to be satisfied.
It's too big to be satisfied, and again, I just don't see it happening on this main tour.
No.
It's going to be something that's going to be reserved for the
last
final Kiss show,
Which is
this,
cool.
This very well could have been something that Gene is just saying, literally just to get us all talking and riled up, because you know how Gene,
Well, why not? I mean,
he can just fire off at any time, and everybody in the world will, for whatever reason, that we listen, we focus, and then we come and dissect
he
it.
wants to sell shows. I'm not saying
Absolutely.
anyone's going to buy a ticket because they might think Ace might show up, but I don't know.
But anything Gene says, it does put, for better or for worse, it puts Kiss in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be super dope to see Ace come out on stage. I just don't see it happening on this main tour.
No.
I'm going to, keep holding out for that last final Kiss show
Sure.
where we don't know what, but something, we're guaranteed that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
It would feel kind of odd not having former members, or, I mean, definitely original members, involved in that last show. But still be really cool to have.
It's not all up to Gene and Paul, too. I mean, I'm not sure if I could reasonably see Peter doing anything with the band.
Well, you know what? That's a really good point, because we're talking about Ace and Gene, who seem to be the most friendly, we'll say.
Sure.
Then you got people like Paul and Peter, who, let's face it, Paul isn't the friendliest guy.
Well,
Paul is very, no offense to, I love my Paul Stanley. He's amazing, but he's very, a little stuck up.
Well, he
holds a grudge.
He doesn't owe Peter anything.
No, he doesn't.
Especially after the farewell tour.
No, and I understand that. I understand that very much.
And could he put it aside for the last show? Maybe, but they've already went through that.
You're absolutely right, and that's something too where it's like no matter who we're looking at, like, they're all right. If they want to do it for the fans, then hey, that's the correct answer. If they don't want to do it because of their personal, hey, that's the correct decision. It's funny how that works too, where it's like you never know what you're going to get, but it's going to be, everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Yes.
So I think we had an episode where it was all about the Final Kiss concert a few episodes ago. We were kind of talking about what could happen, what would happen, what probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And the idea of having, all of them out on stage at the same time in makeup and costumes just seems really unlikely.
And they should have just did
it. It seems like a multiverse thing where it's like, somewhere in the multiverse, you have all eras of Kiss joining on stage, but in this world, realistically speaking, no.
Well, I can tell you, what I wish could happen for this whole last tour, and it's again too big to happen, but just come out with Bruce's band, do a Bad Boys 2 tour.
Oh, okay.
Come on. I mean, can Peter play? I don't know, or at least have. I just this would solve everything. Just have Ace, Ace and his band opened for Kiss, although they'd have to cut down
Ace's
the
band's
majority
great.
of their set because they're playing Kiss songs on Ace's tour. But he's got plenty of release common stuff that would rock the house, solo material.
Yeah, and he can still play Kiss songs, just not Kiss songs that are being like Deuce, obviously.
Don't play Deuce, don't play
But you can play
Detroit
Parasite.
Rock City. Ace can pull out those songs that we wish we could hear live, but the Kiss that we know Kiss isn't going to play.
Right.
Now, Ace probably wouldn't enjoy opening for Kiss because that's his old band, and I can imagine that. But
It's weird how the music business works, because it would be really cool to have a literal all Kiss event where you show up and it is Ace's band and Bruce's band
celebrating the '80s.
Peter coming out to celebrate with
Beth.
with Ace Frehley on stage, and then they come out on stage with Kiss at the very end for a full reunion.
Yes.
That's a very Kiss event.
It is,
but again, things like politics and money and scheduling, promoting, and booking. It's like that would never work.
It makes me wonder.
It would never work.
Well, it makes me wonder, and it probably has something to do with Grand Funk. I wonder if there's any talk about Bruce's band doing that, because it just makes total sense.
Doing what?
I think opening for Kiss, Bruce's band.
I don't.
I would assume it has something to do with Grand Funk, or maybe the other guys in the band have other stuff going on. Because if they're touring at the same time, then Bruce couldn't do it. But and maybe it just makes too much sense, because I don't know of any other band that's really done that.
Right.
It'd be like Dennis DeYoung's band opening up for Styx or something, which would never happen.
No.
So
as cool as it would be, or as much as the fans would want it, it's just
or
not.
Steve Perry, opening for Journey, that would never happen. That would never happen
for sure.
It's not quite the same because Bruce and Kiss are tight,
Right.
That's good, but still.
Either way, I mean, it'll be cool to see what happens. Obviously, Ace is definitely thinking more about the money. I think
they should pay
came
him.
out and said, I think they should pay him too.
Pay him and gobs him because they're going to be. Gene and Paul don't even need the money, but
no.
I say give him what he wants just for the fans.
Yeah.
Ace is happy, Kiss is happy because more people might turn up. Maybe.
So would you rather them do something with? So let's say Ace says, "Hey, I'll do it for the right money," and Gene goes, "Okay, great, we'll pay you." And then they reach out to Peter and say, "Peter, we'll give you the same treatment, the same pay," and he says no. Is it better to have Ace and not Peter, or have nobody at all?
Have Ace with no Peter. Take what you can get.
Take what you can get.
If
Okay.
Peter doesn't want to come, then I don't want him to be there. Mm-hmm. If Ace wants to be there, then I want him to be there.
Yeah, definitely don't. Yeah, I think that's a good point too. Is to not force the event, because it'd be a bummer if Ace didn't want to be there, but took the money anyway.
Yeah.
And then shows up and does something we did on the last farewell tour, which was kind of like went out on his own jams and kind of like did a little stepping on Gene and Paul's toes. That wouldn't be great.
That's what worries me, though. I'm afraid Gene might get all excited about the idea because it sounds cool, but again, we've already been there and done. That's the thing. It's you don't want to repeat history on the last tour. Or if Ace throws a fit like in that one video of him in the. I don't even want to go through that.
No, I don't want to either.
To me, it's such a safe bet for Gene and Paul just to do it. Everything as they are now, and I'm completely fulfilled with that.
Yeah.
I have to admit, going to see Kiss this week, I'm just as excited as if Ace were going to be there, because I'm going to see a full live Kiss show. All I need is Gene and Paul.
Yeah, there is a lot of risk with trying to do something that big and that cool.
It's unpredictability.
There's a lot of unpredictability. We look back at what happened with Dubai. At the very end of the Dubai, they were trying to have everything orchestrated perfectly.
Yeah.
And it kind of just. It felt rushed, it felt forced, and it's like, okay, just do what you need to do and be done with it. Yeah. So, I mean, I would be totally okay if it was just Gene, Paul, Eric, and Tommy coming out, doing a Kiss show.
Absolutely.
And then saying, goodbye, farewell, adios, sayonara.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Kiss on tour. Let's go ahead and keep talking about that, because we mentioned earlier, talking about, South America, Kiss just finished a string of successful shows in South America, playing of upwards of 60,000 people.
Yeah, I've got different numbers on that.
Yeah,
the highest being about 60.
I mean, I think one show was 50,000, one show might have been 60, 65. There was that drone shot that Gene posted.
That was awesome.
Of the huge crowd. That was just mind-blowing. Yes. That, as a Kiss fan, that just makes you excited. You're just like, yes!
Oh, bravo.
Nothing beats seeing your favorite band whooping ass in 2022. Just continuing to do what they do best, and that's rock the house. I mean, it's 65,000 people with no opening act.
Yep.
That is unprecedented.
It's incredible.
I mean, I would like to see how many artists in today's era 50 years later, drawing 60,000 people.
I mean, maybe the Rolling Stones, but I'm thinking,
in 50 years, you think the Stones are going to still be around? Probably.
Oh no, 50 years from now. I thought you meant
no. I meant like 50, like an artist today.
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you think can an artist today last 50 years and still, even if they can't maintain 60,000 strong?
I don't know if any artists are going to last 50 years from now. Anyway, I know that's a cynical thing, but I mean, because.
Well, that's a good topic in the future, maybe. Let's talk about. But anyway. But right now, talking about Kiss in Buenos Aires, playing for 60,000, 50,000 people, man.
Unbelievable.
Was absolutely crazy.
I would imagine would be a few of the most successful shows, barring festivals, on this tour.
I'm hoping that rejuvenates Kiss a little bit, because this has been a tough tour for them.
Definitely.
They started this tour saying, we're going out on top. We're going to do a string of shows all around the world. New stage show. We got new costumes. We got new instruments. We got this great set list. We're going to go out and do it real big. And then a pandemic happens, and it's a bummer. But hopefully, seeing 60,000 people show up at their show after being on hiatus for a while. They had to cancel the Australian leg again. They postponed dates in the States and make those up. And, that can be really discouraging, especially when you're 70 years old thinking, I was supposed to be retired a year ago.
True.
So, not that Kiss is bored, they're done, and they're over it, but you can imagine being in their position going, okay, we gotta get this tour done.
Yeah.
There's people writing on this. We got tickets have been paid. Our fans are wanting to, see us. So, let's just get through this tour, man. Hopefully, seeing 60,000 people show up, screaming
That's an insane
and
amount of
jumping,
people.
and those crowds, man, are really good for Kiss too. I almost feel bad for them having to come back to the States.
Well, they're coming to Dayton, Ohio this Thursday from when we're recording this, and they're playing a 10,000 indoor seater.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's still decent.
That's still really decent.
Kiss.
And even when we saw them, we've seen a few other shows for where it's 20,000 people.
20,000
which
people.
Again, still no opening act, 20,000 people. That's
amphitheaters,
insane. That's crazy. Good job for Kiss. But here they are doing 3 times that with let's face it, with the audience that has 3 times the energy.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad for them having to come back to the States and do these smaller shows, which are still pretty good.
Yeah.
But these smaller shows for a bunch of fat Americans who have their cell phones out, doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you and I go hard at Kiss shows, but that's because we're still kind of young. But like, it's awesome seeing these fans in Buenos Aires just jumping up and going absolutely crazy.
But in that part of the world, it's like that for. I mean, it just seems like those fans are crazy about all those kind of bands.
They're grateful. They're grateful, and it shows. I don't think folks in America are grateful anymore.
Well, no, of course that goes without saying.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
sad. It's sad.
Well, it is sad. I mean, everything's a little oversaturated here too. They don't get the things that we get here, but it kind of reminds me, go watch the footage if you haven't, or is that available anywhere? Because I know it's streamed. You could probably find it on YouTube.
The show was streamed and uploaded to YouTube, but someone took it down. Obviously, the company took it down. So I think you can find some definitely fan footage. You might find some remnant footage here, but either way.
Now, what was that on the? Was it the Alive 35 or was it the Sonic Boom tour? They did that DVD.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Which again was huge.
So let's see. So they released Sonic Boom, the album, that included a DVD from April or May of that year, 2009, on the Alive 35 tour in Buenos Aires.
Gotcha, yeah. That's what I was
thinking. Same thing, where you have like these people just jumping in waves.
And singing.
Really
loudly.
Really, yeah. And it's
incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah. So hopefully that gives Kiss a little bit of juice. Come back to the States. They got to go to Europe next.
Mm-hmm.
And Australia, but like we said, we're going to be seeing. It'll have been over by the time this is uploaded, but we are going to go see Kiss again in Dayton,
Ohio. Yeah.
So if I guess we can't say that because it's already going to happen, but hopefully we'll see some people in Dayton.
Yeah.
And get to chat with a few fans. I know of some people who are going. I think Daphne and I are going to try and do the sound check package.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes, but definitely expect a full report from us. I think when we saw them in Tinley Park.
We give a little.
We made sure to come back. We did an episode reviewing that show, letting fans know what's new, what's changed, what they can expect. I don't think much is going to change with this one, but we're still going to be sure to get back and do an episode talking about the different changes and some of the things we've noticed. I know there's a few things I don't want to talk about it now, but there are some things that's happening with the show that I kind of want to talk about next time.
Sure.
But I just can't wait to see Kiss.
Well, it's going to be a special show for us specifically because it's likely to be our last Kiss show. Ever, yeah.
Which, I mean, we've said that several times, not just on this tour, but in our lifetime.
But they've
but it's gonna happen.
They've come back around a couple times here in our area, and so
yeah, we've seen 2 shows in Indiana alone.
And it doesn't seem
on 2
like,
legs.
It just wouldn't make any sense for them to come back again, especially because the only reason why we're seeing them in Dayton is because it's a rescheduled show that was supposed to happen last year.
Yeah, and that was rescheduled from the time it was supposed to happen. It's been canceled 2 or 3 times now.
Yes.
And it's kind of ironic, or not ironic, but it's kind of funny because we didn't plan on going to this Dayton show.
Right.
Our last show was going to be in Indianapolis in August 2019.
2019.
And then we happened to see a show in Fort Wayne 2020, right before COVID.
That was right when the pandemic was getting bad.
And then we thought, well, after COVID, we got to, dust off and go see them again.
Well, they're coming back around. I mean, why?
Yeah, well, they had, the shows make up, so we said, well, I mean, if it works out, it works out, right?
We're not going to not go see them if they're coming around. So.
And now we're going to go see them in Dayton, and yeah, this will be the last one for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to be sure to have a really good time. I think it's a little bit farther back this time. We're used to see them up close. I think we're going to be.
Our last show was
a little farther back. The last
show was incredible.
Fort Wayne was 6th row. That one was insane.
That was the one that
was the one, and then
in Kentucky. Well, we saw them
20th row. We were 20th row, I think, in Indianapolis, which was great.
Did we do a 13th row, or was that Freedom to Rock? I can't remember. The number 13 doesn't matter.
We did 10th row, I think, on the Kiss World Tour in 2017.
Yeah,
and that was in Aurora.
Yeah. But since our seats are kind of further to the back, we can see the whole show instead of one side of the show. Because last time we were on Gene's side, I think, and then before that was Tommy's side. So now
we've seen it from every possible angle. How many
center.
shows have you seen on the end of the road tour? I'm kind of curious because some fans like us, you see one show and that's it. That's all you can do. But this last tour, it's you got to go see multiple if you can.
Get all you can take. No pun
Get all you can take. Hey, that's a good reference. Yeah. I like that. I like that. How many shows have you seen? What do you think of the show? What do you think of the tour? As far as Kiss, this being their farewell tour, I'm very pleased. I can't wait to see them in Dayton. Again, expect a full report from that coming in the next episode.
Yes.
But one thing we haven't had time to mention on this podcast yet, I'm kind of surprised, is the new single for Donington. Because I'm expecting another one.
Oh yes.
To happen at any time to be dropped.
Very soon. That's correct.
Because we got "Do You Love Me" from the Donington soundboard, which I thought was awesome. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a step up from Virginia Beach. I'm assuming you think the same. What do you think?
As soon as it was uploaded to Spotify, I was very eager to check it out. Even with the disappointment of the last one, I was really excited to hear something from the original lineup.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing I noticed when I hit play on Spotify was, oh my gosh, the sound quality is fantastic, and that made me even more excited because I was really hesitant, or sort of skeptical after the Virginia Beach, thinking, okay, this was just it, the songs are pretty good, everything was okay, but the sound quality doesn't make me want to return to listen to it again.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I think that tour was one of their best tours as far as their set list.
Oh my gosh,
that set list was gnarly, night after night.
Now a con of that, barring a couple songs, maybe a few, the set list is probably going to go back to a very traditional set list on the Donington.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
lineup, absolutely.
They're going to be playing all classic Kiss.
Right.
I mean, which is not a bad thing. It's just songs that we're overly familiar with.
Yeah, it's there's no variety there.
No variety, but
it's just going to be the classic, the staples, the run-of-the-mill Kiss songs.
Yes. And when I first heard it, I thought it almost doesn't sound like soundboard quality. It sounds almost like a live album. Mm-hmm. It sounded really all the levels were up. The drums were louder, the guitar, everything seemed to be kind of evened out, but everything was just amplified louder. And I feel like that was a real problem on Virginia Beach. Everything sounded really quiet and almost too straight into the soundboard type.
How funny is it that a soundboard recording in 96 sounds miles better than one that's 10 years later?
Yes.
Or 8 years later, whatever it is. It's come on.
Yeah,
it's a shame because, like I said, that's a great tour. That Rock the Nation tour was so great, and it's funny because now on Spotify, if I'm just listening to Kiss casually and it's playing in the background, I'm off somewhere where I can't listen to records or CDs,
sure.
And Spotify is playing, when it will throw Virginia Beach in my playlist
Yeah.
on purpose, I think. Just because it's one of the newest ones.
Of course.
And so I was trying to get it out there.
Sure.
And whenever it comes on, I can instantly, Virginia Beach. Like, now I just know when it is Virginia Beach because of the quality. And I'm like,
It just...
But no, when I heard the Donington Do You Love Me, I was, you know what it was for me? Mm-hmm. Peter's voice.
I was gonna mention that because
it was Peter's voice on the chorus in the background.
Yes.
Brought me back to the farewell tour, but which is not the same era, but again, it's just for us nostalgic.
Yes.
Brought me right back to when we first got into Kiss on the farewell tour, and just hearing Peter's amazing voice. I think
Peter does have an amazing voice.
Yes.
And he has an amazing harmony voice for, you know. Do You Love Me? It was a perfect example. It's so subdued, and it's such a small part that he sings, but his voice is so distinct.
Yes,
it's got a certain tone and timbre. You know instantly when it's Peter Criss, and it just him and Gene can harmonize really well, but him and Paul always rarely harmonize. I'm like his vocals are just something I do miss, and that made me realize it.
Kiss has gotten very lucky with their drummers. Not only are all three fantastic drummers, but they are fantastic singers. And they have all iconic, great voices. Peter, I think it goes without saying that Kiss in the beginning, Peter Criss was the best singer in Kiss in the beginning.
Easily.
Paul would eventually become the greatest singer in the world of all time in the history of ever. Yeah. No, but Paul would become, a great singer, but Peter was always a great singer. True. And Eric Carr, his voice, very distinct. Great voice. Very distinct. Eric Singer has been carrying the background vocals in Kiss.
Yes, Eric has a good harmony vocal as well.
Yeah, Eric is just like Peter in that way where it's amazing. So for me, hearing Peter's voice, and that was super awesome. I can't wait for the next single. I'm wondering what it's going to be because again, Do You Love Me? This one was a Paul single again. They've released. There has not been a single Gene single.
Nope.
There's not been one Gene single in this entire run of Off the Soundboard singles.
I was going to say, you'd think Deuce would be a safe one just to do.
Deuce would be a great one. That was the preview song they used in the ad, which made me think, hey, that could be, and maybe it will be,
maybe.
Again.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It'd be hilarious if this episode goes up and there's already a new single announced, and here we are talking about after or before the fact. But
we'll be cranking that.
But either way, I think that the version of Do You Love Me is great. I'm excited for the upcoming new Off the Soundboard. It's coming out June 10th. So that's less than a month.
I am stoked.
That's less than a month.
Although you're still not doing the vinyl, or have you reconsidered? Considering this might be better.
I have a confession to make.
True confessions.
That's another good reference. You're 2 for 2 today.
Sweet. Anyway,
you're 2 for 2. So I do have a confession. In a recent episode, I did go on a little bit of a tangent, and it wasn't a nice one. I said
That's the way it is sometimes.
I said some not nice things. And I went back on it. I said that I was not going to be purchasing the exclusive vinyl, colored vinyl,
for the next
from Kiss Online because of previous issues that we've been having with Kiss Online.
Exactly.
I decided that I am going to get it.
Okay.
I have pre-ordered it. I can't wait.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome.
Well, you'll be 3 for 3 on the...
I'll be 3 for 3.
On the vinyl, which will be worth something.
I reconsidered because, obviously I was a little angry with KissOnline.com. A lot of folks have been with the issues that they've been having, but hopefully those issues are being resolved.
Yeah.
They are getting a new fulfillment center.
Yeah.
So there's going to be new people taking care of the orders. Hopefully it's way quicker, way more efficient.
I've been hearing that for a while now. Do we have any update on when?
It's already happened here's why. And this caused a lot of folks to also not want to deal with Kiss Online, which again, it's a crappy transition period. Not Kiss's fault, but it happened. So basically what happened was a lot of people noticed that when they went to check up on their Kiss Online orders, aka the Rock and Roll Over merchandise that they purchased last year, their Elder merchandise, any sort of vinyl they might have purchased, they could not look at those orders anymore because all those order numbers were with the previous company.
Okay.
So they're like, well, why can't I see my orders anymore? And they're contacting Kiss Online saying, hey, I ordered this, this, and this, and this.
And they're saying, well, that was that other...
And they're saying, you will get them.
Yeah.
The orders will be fulfilled. But you can't see those orders anymore because those are attached to the previous company, and we have no record of them. If you tried logging into KissOnline.com with your password that you've had for over a decade, it does not work anymore. You have to create an all-new account, an all-new password because everything was with. It blows, but if you just like again, I was the first one. I wasn't the first one.
Roll with it.
But I was someone who was getting huffy and puffy, and so I stopped and said, okay. there's an issue, and they're resolving it. It's gonna suck. It might not be what you want. It may not line up the way you want, but guess what? That's just life.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, they've identified the problem. They have a new fulfillment center.
Mm-hmm.
They're communicating that with fans. They weren't like, Landmark with this Kiss Dubai, and they're just like saying, oh, might be, which don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
I have hundreds in that. But
True.
yeah, so I said, you know what? They're changing fulfillment centers. If I buy this vinyl, I will have every exclusive vinyl in the series so far. It's red vinyl. It looks great. Mm-hmm. This new one is going to be a step up from the last one. So
seems like
that's going to be good. I'm hoping that, I know that with vinyl, it's still having some issues with shipping. Vinyl worldwide has been kind of slowed down. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this one. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy the exclusive vinyl from Kiss Online.
Cool.
I'm just going to give them a chance.
Yeah.
And, I've given them plenty of chances, but hopefully with the new changes that they're doing, everything will
absolutely
be a lot smoother.
Sure.
That's my hope. Again, that comes out June 10th. We'll get it. We'll talk all about it. I'm sure, folks around the world on their podcast and everything will be talking about it. Even if you don't have a podcast, you'll be talking about it.
Talk to us about it.
We'll be listening to it. So I'm excited to see what happens there. And I'm really excited to talk about this next topic because I don't think there's anything quite official yet. But I'm hearing that there's going to be a Creatures box set.
Yeah.
Very similar to the Destroyer box set.
Yep.
In celebration of the 40th anniversary of Creatures.
Exactly.
And that's got me excited as can be.
Couldn't be more
We did
excited.
an episode, I'm not sure when it was, but it was a more recent one. We talked about some of the more upcoming releases in 2022. Talked about the Off the Soundboard Virginia Beach, Donington.
Yeah.
Talked about how there could be something for Revenge. 30th anniversary.
I need Revenge.
We totally forgot to even mention Creature's 40th anniversary.
Didn't even think about
which
it.
is hilarious because that for us is a top 5 album.
Yeah.
And maybe it is for you too. It's
Top 10.
fantastic album. It was in our top 5 on that episode.
Did I put it in my top
It was in our
5?
top 5. Yeah, it was. Maybe it's changed. I don't know. But for me, that is a fantastic album. And if they're going to do a Creatures box set, I'm going to pre-order on site. As soon as it's announced, I'm getting it. And I cannot wait. I can't even fathom what they're going to do with this one.
I know.
And the reason why I know about this is because I heard, again, Marchikini, this is unofficial, but I heard Marchikini from the Three Sides podcast commenting casually on somebody's thing saying, hey, there could be a Creatures box set. I've participated. I've submitted stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
And if Mark says it, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to happen.
Well, he wouldn't say
especially
it
if he's the
didn't
guy,
know.
if he's, submitting stuff because he's a huge collector.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking, oh no. Here we go.
Here's another 200.
I'm gonna be. Well, I hope it's $200.
I
mean, they may have realized with the Destroyer. Actually, you know what? I'm not thinking that because with the Destroyer one, $200 was a great price. I jumped at it. Several fans did, but I think there was a lot left over, and that price ended up going down and going down.
I still haven't bought one. I don't know if I'm going to. I probably can.
Going down. So I'm wondering if they're gonna try to charge more. Maybe they'll charge more and just make less of them.
It might depend on if they have a comparable amount of content to put in, because the Destroyer one just has so much.
There's going to be
stuff.
plenty of stuff. I mean,
Which is incredible. I mean, again, that to me is the perfect follow-up. I mean, it just happens to be the 40th anniversary, so it makes sense there.
Makes a lot of sense.
But just sticking with Destroyer, just the imagery is so important for both of those records.
Yeah.
Really just impacts the experience of both of those albums. And I'm thinking, man, I might actually buy this, because I didn't buy the Destroyer box set, I bought the vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
This one, I think I might actually put some money into it, because I think we both tend to prefer Creatures as an album over Destroyer. Love them both, obviously, but Creatures to us,
I prefer Creatures. Yeah.
It's just, again,
it's way harder.
Scratches a different itch.
But I like heavy music.
Exactly.
And to me, Destroyer is not a heavy album. Creatures is.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if they even do half, which they'll do probably more than that, but I'm thinking if they do half as much for the Creatures as they did Destroyer, man.
Yeah.
Because they had like drawings.
Oh yeah,
old drawings
artwork
that
there.
I mean, cause imagine looking at the schematics for the tank stage. They're gonna remaster this already amazing sounding album.
Yes.
What if there's like Blu-ray audio? What if they include
so.
a live CD along with that from that tour? That'd be great. I mean, what's that show? Brazil.
Oh my God,
that
Rio?
was yeah.
Oh, that'd be unbelievable.
The band around that era was heavy.
True.
probably the heaviest they've ever been. I mean, the Revenge was pretty heavy, but it was also like really tight.
Yeah.
That Creatures era was just, it was all Eric Carr.
Unbelievable.
Eric Carr, just
thunder.
Exactly. So to hear some live stuff come out of that, finally some live Eric Carr, please.
I hope.
This has gotta be it.
Yeah.
This has gotta be it.
Or demos. I mean,
demos.
Anything. Maybe something from Vinny and some of the other guitar players who are on the record.
Yeah, I mean, there's always so much they can do with these box sets, and to know that they're doing this, or to know that Mark has participated and submitted things to this is very exciting. Hopefully it comes out this year. Will be announced this year and comes out early next year, because this ain't something I want to wait for.
I hope they. I don't want to wait.
I mean, make it good. Do what you got to do.
Because I'm gonna get. Assuming they're gonna do something similar, I'm obviously gonna pre-order a vinyl limited edition. I might get the full box set, but I'm hoping. Crossing my fingers for Christmas. If they could do it right around Christmas, because that gives them enough time around the end of the year.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's enough time to. Like, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, it's being done now, so it's already in production.
And if it's being done in the States, like the Destroyer box set was, that is awesome.
That's awesome.
You want that done in the U.S. It's faster. You don't have to wait on shipping, anything outside, waiting on all that.
Right.
So, crossing our fingers, but this is shaping up to be another killer year to be a Kiss fan. I mean, come on. Since we started this podcast, they've kept us busy with documentaries.
Well, I mean, it's releases. It's our 1 year anniversary. In our first episode, we went right in talking about the first Off the Soundboard,
the A&E
documentary, and the Netflix biopic, which hasn't happened yet, but that was still,
still
one of the things where it's like, look, we have all of this cool stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
And we've had plenty of stuff happening then. We have plenty of stuff happening now.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that 2022 is going to be. The rest of the year is going to be fantastic. They added some more. They added more Kiss Cruise.
That's crazy.
An extra Kiss Cruise,
which is good for the U.S. fans, considering that people outside the U.S. got priority. So it looks like because obviously that one's probably going to sell out too. But a lot of the people in the U.S. couldn't get on board that otherwise would. So excellent decision by Kiss. I think that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's very smart. I noticed how they added in the dates before the Already Sold Out cruise, because they did say that would be the last time.
You're performing on the cruise.
Yeah, for the last time on the cruise. So I guess it would have been kind of weird for them to go, oh, JK, actually
we're doing another week.
Actually, the next folks will be the last ones to see us. So, but that was cool, and we were on the waiting list for the first one, and maybe we'll try and get on the waiting list for this new one. I still think it'd be great to see him on this cruise, but I think for now we'll just we'll stick to seeing him in Dayton on Thursday.
Yes.
So lots to look forward to, and then we're about to wrap up here, but there was kind of one thing this just popped in my head as far as just being like new in 2022. Did you see those Gene Simmons commercials for what was it, TABTouch?
Oh,
this Australian
I did
betting app that there's a bunch of these betting apps, sports betting apps nowadays.
I saw that a month or two ago. I kind of forgot about it, but those were funny.
So there are 3 that I've seen.
I think I've seen 2.
I've seen 3, and we'll have to watch it when we get done here. But
great.
3 commercials, and I love Kiss fans because they get so bent out of shape when they say Gene doing anything. I think maybe for them it's the makeup. They see him bringing the makeup and the act and everything into it. I think it's great.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Maybe I'm just a Millennium Kiss fan and I'm just whatever, but whenever I see like that Walmart video they did the Walmart for Sonic Boom for 2010.
Yeah.
They did the Kiss Helping Parents to Rock video.
That was funny.
The birthday party. That was hilarious. No, when I do that, it makes me laugh. I don't take that seriously at all.
Oh, no.
I just think, because basically, okay, if you don't know what we're talking about, there's a sports betting app called TABTouch in Australia, and Gene Simmons was a, spokesperson for it. You can almost call him a mascot at that point. Anyway, in the first commercial, you have people betting on sports, on animals, on horses, whatever, and then here comes Gene Simmons rising out of the ground with flames surrounding him, full makeup, full demon costume, playing his axe bass, and he's doing a cover of some song. The song actually escapes me, but the Kiss fans out there know. Anyway, so he's doing a cover of a song with rewritten lyrics to fit the specific narrative of the commercial.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of thinking, well, why is Gene Simmons there? And then here comes this 40, 50-year-old Kiss fan with long hair, a Kiss shirt, and he's rocking out, and he's having a good time. And then Gene's like, come on, sing it, nerd. And the whole thing is just absolutely hilarious. I think he goes back into the ground.
Yeah, probably.
There's another commercial where I think he comes down from the ceiling in a restaurant or comes up from the ceiling. He breathes fire. It's just absolutely hilarious. And to me, it was just...
It's funny, and there's no reason to...
It was hilarious. They did really good with the fire. I mean, you think back to Kiss Meets the Phantom, when they had Gene, breathing fire, and it's like, ugh. So you see technology coming into its own, but just hilarious stuff. Watching Gene in those TABTouch commercials. If you haven't seen them, check them out. Maybe I'll throw some links in the description. I don't know.
Very amusing. I mean,
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was just something popped in my head as far as Kiss in 2022. So as we wrap up, everybody that watches the podcast knows that I be buying.
No.
I be getting some stuff sent in. I really hope that Expos return, because
I know
online shopping is great. Don't get me wrong. You can find anything you want at any given time and get it sent to you, which is great. But there's something about going someplace and actually buying merch in person and going to the Expos. The seller. Because they're all just collectors like me. They're collectors who are selling their collection. So anyway. The last thing I think I bought in stores may have been, besides a record or that Psycho Circus CD,
Gold
may have been one of the Kiss BST AXT figures. I did get Virginia Beach, yeah. But anyway, no, I'm just hoping the Expos come back, because I need the Expos. I like browsing for Kiss merch in person.
Someone get in touch with Keith LaRoe and Steve Steerwald and bug. They're probably already getting bugged. But, since Kiss is... Well, I don't know what their schedule is going to be, because obviously they're going to be...
Oh, they're booked. They're booked for the year.
Because we were supposed to be seeing... The Expo would have been this weekend.
Right. May 12th.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah, May 14th is usually around the Expo goes. But
they could just pick it someday in the fall, and let's do it, Keith.
It's been several years, but man, maybe some fans that actually maybe they went. There was a Kiss store, one day only Kiss store, that opened in New Jersey.
Oh, yes.
Where a bunch of Kiss fans just flocked.
Oh, man.
Because it was like Kiss merch galore, and of course us, and if it was...
That should be a traveling thing, man.
That's what I'm thinking.
Could you imagine?
We've got to get into this, because, I'll tell you what, who's stopping us from setting up our own... Dude, I've got stuff to sell, man. I tell you what, I've got stuff that people I bet would love to get.
I'll just throw this out there as a random thing. Because it just, when we said a traveling, Kiss thing, I saw Jack White in concert a month ago.
Okay.
And he has a traveling merch/record store. Because he has his own record label, Third Man Records, and he has his own record plants there. I went to the one in Nashville, but his other one is in Detroit.
Uh-huh.
And at the show, because the show was in, the first night of the tour was in Detroit, Michigan. And as we pulled up, he has this... Because yellow and black is his record label's whole color scheme. This little yellow and black Third Man Records Jack White bus rolls up, and he's selling his new album that came out that day, T-shirts and all this stuff, and it was a traveling record store.
What the heck?
It was fantastic.
Is it a bus? It's
like an ice cream truck, but it's Jack White's. It's like...
So it's an ice cream truck that's like wrapped with like Jack White graphics.
Yes.
Kind of like Gene Simmons' tour bus, where it was like a tour bus, but it had like Gene Simmons' face all over it, kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a food stand. They open up the doors and they got merch. And I'm like, could you imagine if Kiss did that?
They should do that.
I was like, that's genius.
If I was in my yard raking leaves, mowing the lawn, and I hear, Rock and Roll Night, but in an ice cream truck tune, and I see the Kiss truck rolling up, holy crap, I'm going ballistic.
I don't know how far that travels. Maybe it was just
like, honey!
Well, maybe it was just because Jack was playing in Detroit, but they have that for something.
Right.
Do they drive it around Detroit on a weekday?
Kiss should get a hold of us. Because I guarantee...
That's what every fan says. Kiss should talk to me. I'm an ideas guy.
That's
Gene
so
likes
true.
that.
That's so true. But I guarantee if Kiss would talk... But we're also like, I feel like I could make Gene so much money. Imagine if there was an official Kiss podcast. We should take, and we wouldn't be involved, but we should take like the best, or not the best, but like, one host from each of the major Kiss podcasts, the long running... And get them together and then have an official Kiss podcast where the band, and this is of course we're just making shit up on the spot. No, it's not gonna happen. But imagine if they were on the payroll where like any and all news went to them first.
Wow.
And,
that'd be cool.
And then you would have members of the band on to
be really
talk
cool.
about, upcoming stuff, new releases.
Well, it's like
that would be a great way to talk about your projects and talk about, that'd be the,
Well, they already have the official Kiss magazine. Why not? I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I think Gene should have his own podcast.
Oh, that would be canceled tomorrow.
No, I think Lars Ulrich of Metallica has his own podcast.
Does he really?
That's great, yeah.
Does he really? Good for him. That's awesome.
He has on all kinds of guests. It's really cool.
You know what? I think you're kind of right. I think that...
I would listen to. He'd get in trouble every day. He
Yes,
already
absolutely.
does.
You think Joe Rogan's, you think he's got a lot to say.
On the second thought, I don't want Gene to do it. I want Paul to do his podcast.
Paul
not
would
a Kiss
never.
podcast.
Paul would never do a podcast.
No, he wouldn't.
But I just think it'd be cool if there was an official Kiss podcast. There's an official Star Wars podcast or an official Star Wars show, I think. And it's just a really great way. I mean, no, never mind. That gets watered down, and then the band has to control the content and what you can and can't say.
I feel like it'd be better.
Never mind.
Toss out that whole idea.
It's better to be independent.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it's better to be
Because
independent.
we get to say whatever the hell we want to say. And Xander can say if he doesn't want to buy the new Kiss off the soundboard
That's
release,
right.
if he doesn't want to. But he did change his mind, so we're still in the
I
good
did change my mind.
graces.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I just think it'd be really cool if Gene were to
We'll stick with the
get in contact with us, because there's a lot of things we could do.
Gene, we got some ideas. You
Anyway.
drink your cola. We
That's true.
We buy this retail price.
Speaking of the 1 year speaking of the 1 year anniversary, since episode 1,
Oh, cheers it.
we've been chugging back on that money bag.
And it is sweet.
What's your thing say this week? Mine says jackpot.
I got cash deal. I think we both got these in the
I think
past.
yeah, they must not
need to
have
come
very
up with
many of
something.
these. Can I see your cap?
Let's do it.
Every cap that we drink, or every cap that we
We drink out of the cap.
we drink these caps. They don't go down very well, but we drink. No, every cap that we have from our bottles, with cap. Why can't I speak? I don't know, but I can't. Every cap from every bottle we have saved from every episode. Why? Because we're just that weird. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, we're going to let it fill up and say, here's the amount of time in caps we've spent talking about Kiss, and it's going to give us a midlife crisis.
Absolutely.
Does anyone remember these cups?
Oh, yeah.
Where did these come from again?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven Big Gulp cups.
Xander's got a collection with Eric and Tommy's autographs up there, which is pretty cool.
That is correct. Now, I will be honest. I have no idea what I bought. Sometimes you buy it and you forget. But I kind of like that, because every time you do it, it's a surprise. So this looks like a t-shirt.
Oh, cool. Gotta love those Kiss t-shirts.
Which actually, I think I ordered one t-shirt, and they got with me and said, this is Kiss Army Warehouse, by the way, if you want to know where I'm buying from. I buy from KissArmyWarehouse.com and Kiss Museum more often than not. If you're a Kiss collector and you've never heard of those sites, then you're not a Kiss collector. No, I'm just kidding. If you ever want really good Kiss merch, I mean, KissArmyWarehouse.com, KissMuseum.com, look around you folks, that's what this is. So basically I ordered the one Kiss shirt. They got with me and said, hey, we don't have that shirt. Would you want this other shirt that's equal in size, equal in price, equal in style? I said, yes, thank you.
Cool.
And that is this shirt right here. Very simple.
I kind of like that.
Very simple Kiss logo. You can see how it has kind of like a washed feel.
I feel like the older we get, we like the ones that are more simple.
That's what I was going to bring up too, because as soon as I saw this shirt, I was like, oh, I know what this shirt is, and I know why I bought it.
Yeah.
And that is very true, because I'm used to all the loud Kiss shirts.
That's kind of loud
then,
in its own way.
Yeah, this is loud. I love it loud. But that's 3. And then, so there's other shirts I have that are, of course, full print and, full back print and all that.
Colorful.
And in high school, I wanted the loudest, most obnoxious Kiss shirt out there.
And they're out there.
And they're out there. And I have them.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some of those got shoved back to the back of my closet. And the ones that I wear now are the ones that have just a simple logo on it. My favorite one is the Kiss Army logo. I want like 5 or 6 more of those shirts just alone. But no, I mean, I actually quit buying Kiss shirts just because I have so many.
Yeah, you got a closet full.
And I'm sure a lot of Kiss fans can relate to that.
Closet full.
And well, I had to put some in drawers, and I had to put some in totes. And again, if I was to start selling stuff, I mean, plenty of Kiss fans would love those shirts probably. I don't wear them. They're not worn.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a pretty cool Kiss shirt that I got. And then some other few small things it looks like.
What is
Hottest Show on Earth button.
Oh yeah, very
The
nice.
tiniest little thing ever, but I collect Hottest Show on Earth stuff for some reason.
That was our second show.
Speaking of, okay, so we have
more picks.
we have Kiss Sonic Boom over Europe guitar picks.
See, I need to.
These are from.
I like guitar picks, and he buys all the guitar picks. I need to start collecting my own guitar picks because every time you buy them, I'm like, oh, those are so cool.
Yeah, and Kiss Army Warehouse.
Oh, they've got
has picks from
the 90s.
Well, they have picks from the tour, from lots of shows on the tour, from the 40th anniversary tour, from the Freedom to Rock tour, all those shows, Sonic Boom over Europe tours.
Can you see those?
Yes, you can. I believe those are from the June 3rd show in 2010 when they were in Rock Am Ring.
I love these. I love the orange.
I
These
have-
look so cool.
I have one of Eric's drum heads from that show.
Yep.
I think these are guitar picks from that show, unused guitar
These
picks.
are the Europe.
But if you're somebody who either likes guitar picks or maybe wants something commemorative from a show you saw on the tour or Hottest Show on Earth tour, definitely check out KissArmyWarehouse.com because they have these picks for about $12 to $20 depending on what show you're getting. Some of the Indianapolis shows are more expensive because Kiss Army Warehouse is based in Indianapolis. Indiana is just huge in Kissery anyway.
True.
So some of
Lucky
those I
us.
pay a little more for, but I mean either way, it's still really cool stuff.
And it's not just the guitar pick. They come in these little collector pouches.
Yeah, I'm assuming what they did was they had all these leftover picks and thought, well, fans might want these, and so we'll have these little commemorative, business card like
Make some money on it.
cards to go with them,
They're
and those
great.
be a little commemorative. So I'm pretty sure these are from the June 3rd, 2010 show, unused, that I'm going to put with my Eric Singer signed drum head.
Cool.
And then the last thing in this box is, there's two. Sweet. I almost bought these again, so I'm glad that I didn't, because I wanted these the other day.
Oh my gosh! And you almost.
And I almost got them again. They're just postcards for Kissology Volume 2 and 3. I love Kissology.
Yeah, huge fans of the Kissology
1, 2, and 3.
series.
And I don't have these postcards, so they're 50 cents. So I thought, well, I'll just put them in my DVDs. And then I have
Absolutely.
one more package to open. I'm still trying to remember.
Still trying to remember what you bought. Yeah, they wrapped it.
They wrapped it.
And then they wrapped
it
it
again. And they wrapped it again.
They wrapped it one more time.
And now I'm on the one. Yeah, I'm on the fifth one right now.
Ooh, a Live 35.
Oh, okay. I know what it is now. Okay, so this
Is
is
it a pin?
an MP3 player.
What? I've never seen that.
I know, isn't it gnarly?
What was up with the
Look at
Live
this
35?
I
They
don't
did
know.
So many strange
I don't know.
things.
I'm pretty sure I showed the other one, well, the last time. The other Kiss MP3 player, the
Yeah,
cassette style MP3 player from Concert Live.
That's
Well, I was on
ridiculous.
eBay, and this came from the UK.
Oh, wow.
This shipped from the UK, and it's a button that you just, it pins to your.
Pin back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pin back button, but it's an MP3 player. It has
I've
a
never seen
play
one of
button,
those.
a stop
Kiss
button,
otherwise.
a fast forward button, and a rewind button. And it comes with a little micro SD card
That's
preloaded
so cool.
with shows from the Live 35 tour. And what's cool is that they're different shows than the ones on here.
Okay.
These have
Now, didn't they do the wristband USB thing for that same tour, right? It
same
was a
tour.
huge tour.
and Hottest Show on Earth tour, yes.
And they did the camera and
The camera,
So
yeah,
weird.
and all this stuff is just freaking awesome.
weird time for technology. Or they just thought they were going to do everything,
And-
which is cool.
I've noticed over the last year or two that that's kind of where I'm operating right now. Is I'm loving all this novelty Kiss tech.
Yeah.
If you're following on the Instagram page, you've probably seen a lot of novelty tech on Kiss Merch of the Week that I do on Instagram every week, on
Yeah.
Facebook as well. But I'm just loving the novelty tech. I have the, I got this several years ago.
Well, it's
the,
just so
the
unique.
MP3 style MP3 player, and I don't even know if it works anymore because it was,
Well.
it's a novelty thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this little button style Kiss MP3
So
player.
strange.
It has, shows preloaded on it, which is fantastic. Comes in a really cool box.
Yeah, the box is cool.
There, you mentioned the camera on the Hottest Show on Earth tour, which we actually filmed with one of our episodes with the first Kiss podcast to film with a Kiss camera.
Yes.
Don't forget it. No, I'm
TM.
just kidding.
No.
TM. So I love the Hottest Show on Earth era. I love the Alive 35 era. It was a big era in Kiss because everything was happening new.
Yeah.
You thought Kiss was going to go away with the farewell tour, and then by the time the decade rolled around, they were back on top of the world.
Touring relentlessly.
Touring relentlessly.
That Live 35 tour was just huge.
Dude, I don't know where Live 35 tour ended and Sonic Boom tour began. I don't think there's even an official date, and if somebody knows, let me know, because it was just right into one another. I mean, they were wearing the Sonic Boom costumes on a Live 35 tour, playing Modern Day Delilah, And then all of a sudden, Sonic Boom is released, and they're still under the code name Live 35. But let's face it, it's the Sonic Boom tour now. And then it goes over to Europe, and then this band has been just cranking out. Like the past decade has been insane as far as their scheduling and their touring, their merchandise. So anyway, looks like Christmas morning in here. One more question for you guys. If you collect, what have you been collecting? I collect novelty Kiss tech. A lot of it ends up being from this, newer generation. I'm curious to hear what other collectors collect. I love talking with collectors and hearing, about all the different stuff they have or they want. So be sure to leave some comments, and I'll be sure to respond to you guys. Do you have anything to add at the end of our 1 year anniversary episode?
No, other than I hope you keep on watching. If you haven't checked out our other episodes since it's been a year, there's 23 other episodes other than this one.
They're a little rough in the beginning, but that's because we didn't know what we were doing.
We're much better at it now. Yeah, don't watch the first couple. we'll private those eventually once they become too cringeworthy. But no, thanks for everyone, for especially the comments, if you're sharing this stuff on like Facebook or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you know anybody who likes Kiss in your life, definitely share the podcast with them and get us out there. We appreciate you guys, and of course check out some of the other videos we have. We just did a 1 second Kiss song challenge video.
That was very fun.
That was super awesome. That we're planning on doing another one of those. I'm thinking of some other things to do for the channel. So, if you're not subscribed, you're going to want to be subscribed because Kiss Army Things is definitely not slowing down in 2022. We've reached 1 year on the podcast. We have plenty of other videos coming on the channel that are not podcast related, but also, just Kiss Army content. What's up?
If you have any suggestions as to topics or certain kind of challenges or anything, be like, hey, you should talk about this because no one's talked about this yet. We'd love to hear it. Yeah,
there was an episode we did where we actually pulled a topic from the comment section because it was like, hey, this person, that's a good perspective. That's a good topic.
Those are some of the best ones. I think.
Jeb and I already have a list of things that we're, just dying to talk about. But if there's something out there that you guys think we should talk about that we're not, definitely, tell us because we want to talk about the things that you want to hear. We're going to speak our minds, but we want to speak your mind too, if that makes any sense. We are one. We are all in this together. And
is that number 5 now?
As the kid,
4 or 5.
4.
We are 1, 4. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of Kiss references on the show. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're posting Kiss memes and Kiss merch and more all the time. So definitely
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, turn on that bell, whatever.
I don't know
whatever YouTubers say, the whole spiel that every YouTuber says at the end of their video, in the beginning, whatever. Just keep in touch. We're glad that you're joining with us. We hope that you've enjoyed episode 24 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Thank you guys so much for 1 year. My name is Xander.
And my name's Jeb.
Peace out.